This is Adam, and he suffers from gout. Try Ural. It helps to prevent crystallization of uric acid crystals in gout therapy. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer for gout.
Hello, I'm Camelia, and this is KiniNews. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has hit back at Muhyiddin for asking him to step down. He also advised Muhyiddin to focus on his court case. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has hit back at Perikatan Nasional chairperson Muhyiddin Yassin for asking him to step down following Pakatan Harapan-BN's lacklustre performance in the state elections. When asked for his comments at an event in Kuala Lumpur today, Anwar said he failed to see the logic behind Muhyiddin's remark.
Kita kekal kemenangan 3, kita masih dapat 2/3 majoriti ahli parlimen. Dia buat perkiraan apa? Saya nasihatkan dia tumpu kes mahkamah.
Previously, Muhyiddin had called for Anwar and Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi to resign following the state elections, which Muhyiddin claimed was a referendum by the Rakyat rejecting the Harapan-BN unity government. The 6 state polls on Saturday saw Harapan-BN suffer huge losses, with both coalitions being wiped out in Terengganu and BN failing to win any seats in Kedah. However, they managed to retain control of Selangor, Penang and Negeri Sembilan. Come back and face investigations. This was the message from Azam Baki to 2 individuals who are wanted by the MACC. MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki has reiterated his call to Perikatan Nasional chairperson Muhyiddin Yassin's son-in-law and a company director to come back and stop giving excuses. Azam was quoted as saying by Bernama that he was firm in his stand that they should come back and face investigations. He said some might not like what he has to say, but they shouldn't give many excuses and come back. Azam said this following a statement from Mansoor Saat earlier today, who claimed to be a victim of persecution. Mansoor, who is a lawyer, said he was abroad for business and was not a fugitive or on the run. He described himself as collateral damage because of his business ties with Adlan and also threatened to sue MACC for abuse of power. Adlan is currently abroad and is being sought to facilitate investigations. Previously, Adlan's lawyer Baljit Singh Sidhu said his client was prepared to return if threats and persecution against him are removed. Baljit said his client was on a business trip abroad and did not flee the country after discovering that he was on MACC's wanted list. On August 7th, MACC issued a statement that it was on the hunt for Adlan and Mansoor. The 2 are being sought in connection with investigations into a project regarding the registration and storage of biometric information for foreign workers. An UMNO leader wants the party to convene an EGM to address their disastrous outing in the recent state polls. UMNO Supreme Council member Isham Jalil has called on the party to hold an extraordinary general meeting. This comes following the party's disastrous outing in the recently concluded state polls. In a statement today, he said this is as the grassroots will become increasingly anxious if the leadership stays silent and does not provide guidance in times of crisis. Isham pointed out that almost a week has passed since UMNO's defeat in the state polls, and the party's Supreme Council has yet to call for a meeting. He said being in denial and buying time for an issue to be forgotten is not the best choice for the time being. Therefore, Isham called for the UMNO Supreme Council to convene as soon as possible to discuss the possibility of convening an EGM to discuss the party's future direction. He said the EGM should include the grassroots, as the decision taken in the meeting will be critical and impact all UMNO members and grassroots. Elaborating, Isham said the EGM is crucial for the party leadership to determine the grassroots voice. UMNO won only 19 out of 108 seats it contested in the state polls.
We are often faced with nutrient deficiency needed for our body. This is why I choose G-Sure. G-Sure is the first plant-based and complete nutrition drink that helps to improve the immune system and strengthen our bodies. It has to be Good Morning G-Sure.
Meanwhile, Perak UMNO has come to the defense of Zahid following calls for him to step down as party president. Perak UMNO has come to the defense of Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. This comes following calls for Zahid to step down as the party president over BN's poor performance during the recent state elections. Perak UMNO chief Sarani Muhammad said there was no need for such a move. According to Harian Metro, Sarani said this was the position taken when the Perak UMNO leadership met 2 nights ago. Sarani pointed out that there was no pressure on Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin and past President Abdul Hadi Awang to resign when their parties failed in the Melaka and Johor election. In those elections, BN won with a 2/3 majority, while Perikatan Nasional won 2 out of 28 seats in Melaka and 3 out of 56 seats in Johor. He added that during the 6 state elections on August 12, PN had 12 candidates who lost their deposits while there were none from BN, yet no one was asking for the PN chairperson to resign. Sarani also advised UMNO members not to allow PN leaders who are seeking Zahid's ouster to influence them. He said those who are singing this tune are people who are no longer in UMNO, such as Anwar Musa and Khairi Jamaluddin. So far, very few figures in UMNO have called for Zahid to step down. The most prominent among them was former Terengganu UMNO chief Idris Jusso.
Jakim has addressed claims that officers in the department are actively involved in politics. This came following news on the issue which had recently gone viral.
The Malaysian Islamic Development Department, Jakim, has ordered its disciplinary committee to investigate allegations that the agency's officials were actively involved in political activities. Jakim Director General Hakimah Muhammad Yusof said the move came after the department was informed on news of the issue that had gone viral over the past few days. She said the investigation was initiated based on the Public Officers Conduct and Discipline Regulations 1993. Hakimah said that the department will not hesitate to impose disciplinary action against officers who are found to be in violation of any of the rules. She added that all Jakim staff must always comply with the rules in force, in addition to not carrying out any actions that could affect the integrity and image of the public service. Recently, a screenshot of a post by a Jakim official, which was seen to be in favor of a certain political party, went viral on social media. It raised concerns when the individual involved also uploaded messages that can be considered to be supporting violence on his social media.
The court allowed Rosma to get her passport back today. This was so she can travel to Singapore to visit her daughter who is expected to give birth.
The Court of Appeal has granted Rosma Mansoor's application for the temporary release of her passport. This is so that she can travel to Singapore to visit her daughter, Noryana Najwan Najib, who is expected to give birth at the end of the month. A 3-person Court of Appeal bench granted the application by Rosma's counsel, Jagjit Singh, following no objections from the prosecution. Rosma filed a notice of motion on August 11th to be with Noryana, who is due to give birth on August 28. In the notice, Rosma said she has never failed to turn up in court for proceedings without reason or reasonable grounds. Rosma added that she will return to Malaysia to attend the appeal proceedings of her solar hybrid project corruption case. Before this, the Court of Appeal had fixed September 18 for case management. This is the 4th time Rosma is applying for the temporary release of her passport to travel to Singapore. The first was on October 15, 2021, to visit Noryana, who had delivered her 2nd child, and then on March 21st this year to visit her daughter and grandchild, and also on June 15 to visit Noryana again.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.